So this is trench 3. What we were doing here was to try and understand what's going on in the middle of the big double banked enclosure. Behind me here you've got a roundhouse and you've also got an enclosure ditch. And what we're trying to work out is the relationship between the two of those things. Which one came first? And what we have to do is put in big slots through the points where they all come together to work out which came first. We know they happened in order, and then we hope we find finds in them to date those orders, not all of them maybe, but enough to give us a picture of what happened and roughly when those things happened. Hi Brian.
Hi John.
So what we're doing is Brian and I are actually both walking along the ring ditch of a very large roundhouse. So we've arrived now at a point where that roundhouse gets cut by a boundary ditch. It's almost as if these roundhouses have small enclosures around them. It's really interesting. And if we head over this way, we can have a look at some of the post pads. So let's do that, Brian. This is the southern end of trench 3. It's further away from the very large roundhouse and the large enclosure ditch that cut through each other. But we've also at this end got a number of smaller roundhouses that seem to sit on top of each other. It's really interesting actually, because one of the things that you seem to have is post pads, though they've really cut them into the ground, but the style is quite different. One of them is very nice and compact and oval, the other one's a bit more rectangular. So the ones that go with the earlier building seem to have a bit more clay and are a bit larger, and then the ones that go with the later building are much more circular and sit rather nicely in the smaller building. So that's kind of cool. So this is quite a complicated bit here, Brian, because we've got the one bigger roundhouse gully coming through here, and you can just see where we've excavated it, a smaller roundhouse gully, and they all come together. But right underneath where you are, there must be the terminal of this bigger one that makes the doorway. So there's a doorway on this bigger roundhouse. So Brian, why don't you walk round the roundhouse? Let's have a look and see where it goes.
Right.
So this is the largest roundhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, it's funny enough, it's the one that comes first out of these two roundhouses. Just there's a little post pad from the earlier roundhouse. That's the end there. So now Brian stood in the doorway.